Hey everyone, welcome back. It's a new day. We're doing some more work on Josie the tractor. Last time we actually got this thing to run, which was just amazing. Today though, we got to get it out and flush out the water channels in there. There's so much crud in the water passages that this thing's not going to cool very well when we hook everything back up. So we're going to push it out of the garage, hook a hose up, flush everything out, and then probably flush the radiator out, and then start putting that cooling system back together so we can run this thing for a little bit longer. And with any luck, we won't run into any problems today. Welcome back to 40s Vintage.
So nicely on easy street. I'd love to live on easy street. Nobody works on easy street. Just sit around all day. Just sit and play the horses. Life is sweet. For folks who live on easy street, no weekly payment you must meet. That makes your hair turn gray.
Well, that was all surprisingly clean in there. Let's fire it up, see if we can actually get it to move backwards.
Well, that worked out really well. So apparently transmission, at least in reverse, works. Ran pretty good. I checked the oil pressure while it was running, right up there at 45-50. Actually pretty impressed. I was expecting a lot of blow past the rings. Didn't smoke at all. Something's gonna go wrong. You just wait. But for now, got it pushed back up in the garage. We're gonna get the radiator hooked back up, get the check and see if that system's all working. If I have to replace the water pump, I'm fine with that. If that's the thing that goes wrong, that's fine. Just fingers crossed. All right, we're gonna get to that. So I've got a new belt to go on, which of course our water pump isn't going to run at all if there's no belt. But before we can put a belt on, we need to put the generator back on, because the belt's not going to stay on without the generator. I have no idea if this generator works. We'll find that out. I know that the electrical connections down here, this red wire that you see, actually goes to it. It's a single wire. But I also know that up there the ammeter is not connected at all. So I'm going to leave it disconnected for now. We'll hook it up eventually, of course. But for simplicity's sake, I'm just going to leave it out, and I can check the multimeter, see if it's charging or not. This thing looks like there's pieces of an old belt and or a wasp nest in the pulley. So just probably clean that out before I put things on, and then we'll just see what happens. Oh yeah, that sounds great. Yeah, this thing probably doesn't work. Look at all this. I'm pretty sure this is old belt material. This thing's gonna squeak like mad. Let's see, does it spin that way or the other way? Boy, let's hope it spins this way. Because this way, we're all gonna go crazy. Well, I've been struggling with this belt here, and went online to see what I was doing wrong, and it doesn't look like I'm doing anything wrong. Although I did notice one thing, and that is this bracket here is actually on incorrectly. It should be rotated 180 degrees. So I'm going to pull that off and put it back on the right way. You guys have seen me do enough work on this head, I'm not gonna bother showing you that. Instead, for the magic of editing, I'm gonna fix it like that. And there it is. Magic. You know, that magic does have me wondering if maybe I could do a little magic and have that thing pop on there. That's probably not likely to happen, though. I mean, what are the odds of the... Whoa. Okay. I'm definitely going to need to get some new pads for the bottom of the radiator here. But I don't have them, and I want to get the radiator on, so I'm going to put it on now. We'll replace them later. It's no big deal.
When opportunity comes knocking, you just keep on with your rocking, 'cause you know your fortune's made. And if the sun makes you perspire, there's a man that you can hire to plant trees so you can have shade on easy streets. I'm telling everyone I meet.
Okay, I am shy one hose clamp. Thought I had an extra. Turns out I don't, so I'll have to get another one. I'm going to put one there, one on these two, and leave this one off for now. I think it's probably the least important, and it'll be the easiest to replace because we can just drain the water level down a little bit and pull this guy off. So this should slide on here. Slide on like that.
You got it made. And if the sun gets you down, keep a small boy around to plant trees.
Alright, I'm going to start by filling this up with just some water. I don't know if this pump works at all. I don't know if there's leaks anywhere, so I'd like to just put water in it. That way, if it leaks, it's no big deal, it's just water. I don't know if you can see that, but if you watch closely, you can see water seeping up from around the threads of that stud. I believe that tells me that this stud is not seated down far enough, that it's not fitting in all the way, so water's seeping around it and wicking its way up. So I think I'm going to have to tighten that stud down. This is one of the ones, obviously, I replaced. You can probably tell that it's a lot shinier. So I think I just need to get that tightened down more. Okay, well, I think it's working because this engine is so cool to the touch. When we were running it the other day without any water, this was really hot, but today, nice and cool. Don't worry about the smoke over there. That's just solvents and stuff burning off of the exhaust. I am pleasantly surprised. I don't see any major leaks. Still have some weeping from that one head stud. I'm going to have to figure that out. Otherwise, this is pretty good. Okay. That went surprisingly well. I'm going to go ahead and think about putting the gas tank on next to putting the hood with the gas tank in it. Got to take a look inside the gas tank first. I think it looked pretty good last time I looked at it. Obviously, there was a little bit of old gas, which is kind of basically turned to varnish in there. But we can clean that out easy enough. Get this put on, get our fuel system hooked up, and put a little gasoline in the tank. I still need just that carburetor. It won't run very well unless it's on the choke, which tells me it needs to be richened up quite a bit. But we'll play around with that a bit. Okay, so this one stud was still weeping some fluids out, so I ended up pulling it out and putting some blue Loctite on it. We'll see. You never know. We gotta let that cure 24 hours. But in the meantime, I did find one other thing, and that is I apparently have a leak on my oil gauge. And as you can see, it's kind of going down the side there. Didn't notice that. Thought it was leaking from, just weeping out of one of the holes down there. But nope, right there. That's easy enough. We'll just tighten that up. Shouldn't be a big deal.
Since I had to drain some of the water out of the engine to fix that head stud, I figured I'd take this opportunity to do something that I completely forgot about when I was putting the hoses on, and that is the thermostat. It came with no instructions whatsoever other than which direction it needed to face, but fortunately it was easy and intuitive to figure out exactly how to get it in there. And once I figured out where it went, it just slid right in with no problems.
Just like that, apparently. Now we gotta go in further because it's gotta fit over. I might be able to use this. Oh yeah, there we go. The WD-40. That method works great.
As the sun went down, we pushed her out into the driveway to do a little pressure washing, something we probably should have done a while ago.
Alright, well, it's a new day in the shop, and I gotta be honest with you, this next job is gonna be exhausting. I'm not sorry. Okay, so our exhaust system obviously connects on here to the end of our manifold. Drops down here and goes on the underside of the tractor, which is a little unique for a tractor. It was being held on by some baling wire here, but what we're going to do is we're going to hang this bracket. Now I need to make sure that it's going to be in the right spot. I'm pretty sure this is where it's going to go. This is a brand new bracket I got. And we're just going to mock this thing up a little bit and make sure that that really is the right spot for that. And then I'll just bolt it in. And then really putting on the exhaust on this thing, it's actually very simple. Clamp it here, clamp it down there. That's it. That's all there is. Should be easy. All right, so this. There. See. Let me see if I can show you what the problem is here. So we've got it connected up here at our, well, not really connected, just kind of in place. And previous farmer placed these steps on, which is great, very handy. Originally, we would have just had these pegs right here with nothing on them, but as you can see, welded on. I think this is actually a kit that you could buy, although I don't know, hard to say. At any rate, added on with some brackets here and welded together, which is great, but that means that our exhaust system underneath, if I put it where I think it's supposed to go, it's going to impact all the bracketry there. So you remember when I said this should be pretty easy? And that guy was an idiot. Well, in case you couldn't tell by the sweat off my brow, it's kind of warm out here. Let me show you what I've done temporarily. So I've got this sort of down up here, but still so I can maneuver things, but it's getting real tired with that just falling down on my leg and my head there, so that was real annoying. So got that there. That allowed me to play around back here with this, and I think if I can get this bracket just bent up just a little bit, I think that's going to work out. It's pretty tight, but I'm going to take this over to the vise, and we're going to bend it a little straighter, make it do our bidding, I think. It's a new day. Let me show you what's going on. First of all, yeah, that's another pile of oil. I had another spill. The video wasn't rolling. I'm sorry, I didn't get on video. I didn't think there was going to be an oil spill. I'm working on the exhaust. There's no oil in the exhaust, but well, let me show you. So we've got this bracket here, which is kind of mounted incorrectly. But you notice the bolt it's on, that's actually a stud that comes out. And if you notice, it's right on the very bottom of the transaxle. And that transaxle is filled with, I don't know, it's like 4 or 5 gallons of oil. So when I pulled that out, I had a nice stream of oil coming out. And
Yeah, that was no fun. And to top it off, that bracket is not right or not on right or something. I'm not really sure. I can't get it to go into a way that this is going to work with this exhaust system. So I'm just going to make a bracket and I'm going to just hook it straight to this bolt right there, which is an actual nut. So I shouldn't cause any more problems here. I do I do have to take that bracket off, which means I am going to put some more oil down. But I'm going to be smart. I got a bucket. So we're going to improvise a little bit. We weren't going for show quality anyway, right? Right. There's no way I'm doing this without losing a bunch. There's just no way. All right, so we ended up with a farmer fix, but whatever. It works. We'll figure out a more permanent, prettier solution later. For now, I think that's going to hold pretty well. Next, we're going to turn our attention to the air cleaner. I don't think those guys are supposed to be living in there, whatever they are. I don't think this has been apart for a while. Let's take it apart. That's not supposed to have, looks like wasps' nests. Yeah, we don't need that. Eat. Ugh. Mint. I think this needs to be turned 90 degrees. Go. That's happier. All right, it's a new day. Now on to another task. Finished up the intake. Exhaust is looking good. I went ahead and put in some new spark plugs out with the old Autolite 437s and with some new Autolite 437s. There wasn't anything really wrong with the old ones, aside from the fact that they were kind of coated, probably going to foul themselves soon here. Probably foul these ones too, but I had the new ones. Might as well. So next up, I'm not sure if you can see it here, but there is a dent on the top of this radiator. The radiator is good, but it's dented, so I need to pop that up. And once we have that popped up, we can put the hood on. Of course, the recommended way to pull out dents in the top of your radiator is to just climb up here like this. Let's see if you can pull it out. Oh, maybe. Oh. Holy moly, I think that worked. Okay, one more thing we got to do. We got to empty out some of this gas in here. Now, it's not old gas. It actually was in pretty good shape in there, but I put a little bit of some fuel in there just to get any loose stuff out. Now I got to drain it out. I don't think it's supposed to be that color. Rust is not the right color for fuel. That's fine.
Well, that was a lot of finagling. Finally figured it out. Put the front on first, then the rear. It'll go a lot better for you. Still got a problem here, though. I'm not sure if you can see that at the moment, but the radiator is canted a little too far toward the front, so this is bending in. I'm guessing that's why that was bent and dented in the first place. Let's see about realigning that, and then we'll put our fuel system back together. And just like that, Josie looks like a tractor again. Took a little bit of finagling. I had to loosen some things up, move some things around, but got that all straightened out. Actually comes off and on. Things are looking up. But right now, it's kind of warm. So I think I'm going to take a break, maybe hit it again tomorrow. See you then. All right, well, it's the next day. I got a haircut. We're going to actually put together this fuel system here. Remember when I mentioned that I had a leak in that oil connector? It wasn't just needing to be tightened. You see, I found a crack in the coupler, and there's no way that you're going to fix that. So I did what any self-respecting man did, was I soldered it up and threw half a tube of thread locker on it. And I ordered a new part. I had some more parts coming anyway, like the pads for the radiator and the mounting bolts for the fan shroud. You probably didn't see a fan shroud when I put on. Well, that's because this didn't come with one when I got it, but I have used one and then completely forgot to put it on when I put the hood on. So at some point, we're going to have to take the hood or at least the sides off of. That's tomorrow's problem. We're not going to worry about that today. Today, fuel system. Let's do it. All right. First up, got to put this fuel sediment bowl back on, and it's just a glass bowl that sits here. The fuel comes down from here, kind of fills this bowl, and any of the junk will sink to the bottom. The good stuff will go out there to the carburetor. I had to make a new gasket. I could have ordered a new gasket, but I had an epiphany that for the price of a new gasket, I could make my own gasket. So why not? What could possibly go wrong? So this just goes right in here, and we screw this on, and everything is happy, no leaks. It's going to be perfect. Absolutely perfect. That kind of sucked. Let me tell you why. I didn't film a lot of that because really, who wants to see half an hour of making tiny bends to a tube? But basically, what we ended up doing is, this is our fuel line here. I could not for the life of me figure out the way that they had it previously. They actually had an inline fuel filter here, which would have been cool. And I may figure out how to put that in, but just getting everything to fit in this area without sitting on top of the exhaust manifold, I don't know how they did it before. I should have gone back and looked at pictures, but I did make some bends to this. I got a little bit more, I think, to tighten up there. And it does appear that everything is in. It's very weird having the fuel line go right over the exhaust manifold, but okay, whatever. It's connected. I got to tighten this down. I got to tighten that down a bit more. And then I'm going to dump some fuel into the tank, turn on that spigot over there, see exactly where the fuel dumps. Because you know me, fuel's going to dump somewhere. I don't think I've put any fuel on the floor of this garage yet. First time for everything. This is the part where I put too much fuel in here because it's going to leak and I'm going to have to take something out and it's all going to come dumping out. Mark my words. Ooh, assuming I don't spill it all over the thing anyway. Probably my cam leaks. All right, let's see. Huh. I have a feeling that, oh, there it goes. I was going to say that that's clogged up. Oh, that is still not pretty. Not pretty at all. Oh, looks like it's dripping a little here. Maybe not. No? Yep, we got ourselves we got a leaker. Took forever to come down. It's taking forever to stop. Let's tighten this up some more. I see gunk coming down out of the tank. There we go. Now I see it moving. Doesn't look like it's leaking anymore. Okay. Died. Guess we're not quite ready for that. Well, we're darn close. Unfortunately, close only counts in horseshoes and hand grenades. So I got some work to do on this carburetor. It's not feeding quite right. Unfortunately, while I was starting it over and over again, I think I burned up this guy, which is the starter switch. It is not putting out enough amps to turn that starter at anything close to the speed it should be. And at the end there, it just stopped doing anything. So I'm going to test that out. Pretty sure it's bad. If it is, buy another one and put it in. But for now, fortunately, that's where we're going to have to end this one. Next time. As always, appreciate you watching. Thanks for stopping by, and have a nice day.